After much deliberation, I've crafted what I believe to be the perfect randomizer run. You're probably wondering, well, how did you manage that, CJ? Well, how about you go fuck? No, I'm kidding, I'll tell you. Simply type the word random into the mod nexus, filter out the smut, shame on you, and cram it all into one barely operational load order. We've got randomized loot. Holy randomized enemies. Holy and tons of brand new randomized equipment. Holy even script random is the. To really spice things up, every single party member will also be using wild magic, meaning at any point someone could do something as harmless as turn into a sheep or literally catch on fire. With all this chaos, I've turned the game into a veritable loot and combat casino, and just like real gambling, I could get lucky or lose my shirt. Without further ado, let's see if I can beat Baldur's Gate 3 as a degenerate gambler. My adventure begins by creating my character. Now for character creation and a lot of my decision making, I'll be consulting the Wheel of Random. Let's start with my character's race. That's awesome. Githyanki is actually my favorite, and I'll be needing that medium armor proficiency. Now let's do gender. For now, my class will be Wizard, but once I get all 4 party members and unlock Withers, I'll switch to Wild Magic. Okay, and then of course, we're gonna randomize our appearance. So I'm just gonna start clicking this shit. So I'm just gonna close my eyes. And when I open my eyes, that is what we'll choose. Oh, hang on a second. Did the randomizer cook? Once aboard the Nautiloid, I head straight for us. I'll need all the help I can get. Unfortunately, I didn't expect the dice rolls to be random as well. After meeting up with Lae'zel, we prepare for our first combat encounter. I sure hope nothing bad happens. Okay, so I seriously think these are the worst spawns we could have gotten. Well, that was quick. We die, of course, but on my second try, I have the wits to at least... Okay, forget fighting. If I use Lae'zel as bait, I can super jump away from combat into safety. I grab Shadowheart in case I need more bait in the future and make my way to the helm, where it's pretty much the same story. There are too many enemies and my health is far too low. Somehow, some way, I make it to the helm and arrive on the beach. Alright, let's just start looting. With the mod's random treasure and randomized equipment loot, practically any old barrel or corpse could give me trash or end-game loot. This is without a doubt my favorite part of this run. It's like a little loot slot machine, and when it pays out big time. Unless, of course, it's quest-related equipment. That should all be the same. Should being the key word. Now, this may seem a bit broken, but keep in mind that every time I start combat, there's a pretty decent chance an enemy will turn into a Kithrak Voss with an extra 100 temporary hit points and chain lightning. Okay, 18. Oh, Kithrak Voss! I also noticed that sometimes, very rarely, the mod randomizes one of my party members, and in doing so rids us of almost every ability except main hand attack. Not kidding, this combat encounter took 7 tries before I finally got lucky with the enemy spawns. Now, I'm using 2 mods to randomize our combat experience. The first is Combat Randomizer, which is what's turning these little brain guys into anti-Ethel, but the other is Random Enemies, which essentially just buffs the enemies even further, giving them things like fire resistance or enlarged. Using both isn't really necessary, but it wouldn't be fun to watch if it was easy. Finally, I emerged victorious and was even rewarded for my struggle. Ooh. That is so funny. After saving Gale, my last party member, I head straight for the Grove. I've got to decide whether or not we want to save the Grove or burn it to the ground. So let's consult the wheel. Okay, kinda boring, but there's no questioning the wheel. I just do as I'm told. This fight in front of the gate is already arduous and lengthy, and it doesn't get any better when everything is randomized. It was fun at first, and we got some interesting spawns along the way. See, this is crazy.
Malice, your gear? Oh no, we have a beholder on our side.
But we just kept dying over and over. After about 50 minutes, the odds eventually landed in our favor. I did unfortunately lose what I think was Zevlorn Will, but thankfully the last guy bugged out and let us pelt him with firebolts until it was all finally over. The loot on all the bodies was atrocious, but it can't all be good, I suppose. With a few levels under our belt, it's time to switch the group to wild magic. I had a brief tussle with the undead in the catacombs, killed him on the first try, and got some pretty decent loot.
Holy fucking shit. Really?
I quickly respec our characters, but leave Shadowheart with at least one level in Cleric so she can continue to heal us. To test my combat prowess, I went and picked a fight with some Mind Flayers by the Nautiloid crash. These squids aren't normally here, but with the mod additional enemies, we'll find a ton more combat encounters throughout Act 1 and 2. Since one of them turned into an arcane cannon with no attacks, we clean up fairly easily and head back to the Grove. Arabella is a sweet girl, and I would never want to see anything bad happen to her, but it's not up to me, it's up to the wheel. Nice, Arabella's parents will be happy to hear it.
The wheel's been a real goody two-shoes so far. I was hoping for something a little more chaotic, but we'll see what happens in the future, I guess.
Further into the sanctum, and I remember this spot being a pretty decent loot room. Let's see what we can find.
Whoa, you gain +1 to spell save DC. Whoa, Jesus Christ, Hellbeard Halberd? Okay, looting is overpowered, man.
Moving the story along, it's time to kill some goblin leaders. Priestess Gut was super easy since she turned into an 8 health citizen.
Okay, so we have to kill her. She has 8 health. That's too funny. And too easy, to be frank. Come on, just wrap it up. Oh, that's so funny.
Mandara was done in by the old bridge trick. And Ragzlin proved to be not so easy. When trying to detonate our usual one-shot barrel explosion, I noticed one of the goblins turned into Raphael. I'm not stupid. I know when I'm beat. I tried again, but we started combat before detonating the barrels. With almost everyone dead, I just need to kill this 20-foot Hellfire Watcher. Funny enough, the randomizer turned me into a Savarok guard, which was insanely cool. Looking back, I should have checked to see if this was a feature or a bug, because I love turning into random enemies.
Wait, is that the what did I just do?
Thank you for saving me.
God
I was
damn
so
it.
thirsty.
I meant to use that on Lae'zel.
For some reason, we found hag hair in this barrel, yum, and lots of mid loot. That's most of Act 1 complete. We just need to briefly stop by the thief hideout and grab some supplies. Oh wait, nothing is in its original place, which means there's a very real possibility I could just not find any more supplies and never be able to long rest. We're doing fine for now. We've got roughly 250 supplies, but we better start rationing.
All right, looking fresh.
I started the Zentrum mission and consulted the wheel on how to proceed. On my life, I'm not rigging these spins. I would prefer to just leave them to die, but I guess the wheel has a conscience.
Whoa, okay. Nothing can ever just be easy.
With Gortash on our side, the first fight was a piece of cake. The second one, not so much. However, on the second time around, we met the coolest fucking bird I've ever seen.
That's Ciri from The Witcher? Why does that blue jay have a globe of invulnerability? Oh, the bird has a weapon!
The Null leader / Githyanki thing decided to fight for us. And I can't show the rest, because for some reason, half the enemies had their curtains out.
Yep, and there's a nipple. Why are there so many naked people? Nudity is turned off.
But I saved the guards and turned in the mission, just for the quest to bug out and give me nothing. On my way to the creche, I run into a gigantic fire drake. Having a better understanding of the mod now, we just have to die until it spawns as a 6 HP human and level up from the residual XP.
Nice! There you go.
Arriving at the Githyanki's abode, I held my breath in anticipation for what the vendor might be selling. Whatever, let's just get the Blood of Lathander and move on. For some reason, the mod author of additional enemies put 3 Giga Chads guarding the mace. Maybe it's lore accurate, I don't know, but if the randomizer hadn't turned them into whatever this is, I would have been dust in the wind.
Nice. I think we just pass, yeah. Is that it? Yeah, they're all dead, nice. Nice. What did I get? Did I get the actual Blood of Lathander? Oh, I did, yeah, sure enough. It just gave me the regular Blood of Lathander. I guess because it's technically a quest item, you can't really get a random item off of it, which is a bummer because that's what I was hoping for, but oh well, let's get the hell out of here.
While casually purging the creche, I came across the most absolutely overpowered avian unit to ever exist.
Let's see how many actions he gets, because last time he attacked me like 6 times in a row. That 4, 5, come on, 6, one more, 7. That's ridiculous. Greater invisibility on Pigeon? Really? And then chain lightning to end it all, thank you.
We died here a lot, and when it was finally done, they didn't have much on them. But we did find a rune powder barrel before parting ways with the topside and heading for the Underdark. Once again, I consult the wheel to see what fate Nier should meet. Say less. I messed up the framing on these next few recordings, so we're gonna move through them pretty quick and try to salvage it. Arriving in the Shadow-Cursed Lands, I immediately head for the fight with the Harpers. My first attempt was met with a swift and brutal defeat. Second time's the charm, and we move to Last Light Inn. Before we talk to Isabel, we need the wheel to determine whether she lives or dies. Okay, something fishy's going on. We're only getting lawful good results here. Wait a second, is someone behind the wheel? Halson. Before starting the fight, I was digging through Isabel's clothes and found a ring that increases my dex to 20. I don't know what mod that came from, but I'm here for it. During the stressful and intense battle for her life, tiny Isabel gives up and decides to just have a seat by the fireplace instead. I think at one point a cat flew on the roof, and then Jaheira started attacking a frog. Since no one else is taking this seriously, we're just gonna move on. The Drider kills himself, blah blah blah. We made it to Moonrise. Nice, the framing's fixed. To celebrate, let's have the wheel decide the fate of these goblins. The rules are the rules. After convincing Garangoth and Malice that existence is totally overrated, I make my way to the Gauntlet of Shar.
Whoa, yeah, I forgot about additional enemies. No problem. Okay, let's give myself haste. Ah. Shit. It was only a matter of time, I guess.
As soon as combat starts, all the enemies turn into bosses, and I begin to see a pattern. It looks like the enemies and allies choose from different pools of NPCs when randomized. One of these pools is full of all bosses, and not all the bosses are equally powerful. The second attempt results in some much better spawns, and I move on to Balthazar. I managed to beat him fairly easy by just unlocking his door and letting the Dark Justiciars take care of the rest.
We're just gonna lock that up. Of course.
The trials were pretty easy, but I was super excited to see what would happen in the self-same trial.
One of them turned into Halson, Lord Shattershield. Whoa. No, dude, I think they're gonna destroy.
Needless to say, the computer had way more HP, and it wasn't even fair. On my next attempt, I just cheesed it.
What the fuck? I have an additional action. Nice. Damn. There we go.
Finally at the Night Song, and Shart has an important decision to make. Only it isn't really her decision. Thank God. We'll need the help when we get to Merkel. When Shar shits out Shart, she's no longer the emo girl we remember. I don't know why it randomized her. We weren't in combat, and killing her doesn't seem to fix it. For now, she seems to be stuck as an 8 health citizen with no abilities. Regardless, I take the fight to Moonrise, where a battle has already broken out on the bridge. I have tons of helpers, and we finish up fairly quickly. What happened next, I could have never anticipated. 10 of the dead bodies on this bridge were filled to the brim with magical items. I knew this area would be full of loot, but this is ridiculous. I hit the jackpot. Most of it wasn't very powerful, but it can all be sold when we get to Act 3. Once inside, I thought that maybe we were gonna beat this on our first try. That was until we were all turned into fart clouds. Trying again, and I just went with the AoE spam for the win.
Armor class exclusive. When your immunity affects a magic missile. Nice. Okay, that one's dead. Yeah, lay into him. I don't know why she has so many attacks, but lately she's been doing work. Nice. Wish I could heal her. She's going crazy. She just attack until they're dead? I don't know. Well, that's what you get. That's too funny. That was much easier. Much easier. I'm gonna kill everyone you ever cared about. Dame Aelin is Jezzy Tops.
In Kethric's first phase, he dies with one singular fireball to the face.
Oh, this should be easy. Okay, there we go.
Enough.
I didn't realize. I wasn't paying attention.
His second phase, however, not so easy. I thought maybe I had enough explosives for this part, considering I'm using the rune powder barrel, but I guess not.
Is that Elminster? Wait, hang on a second. If Elminster's fighting, we're fucked.
Night Song was almost no help at all, and after a ton of deaths, I scraped out a win.
Wait, the Elder Brain is here. Where the fuck is the Nether Brain? That's funny, though. It's around here somewhere. Fucking finally.
Kethric's loot was really only okay, but I did get a pretty overpowered cloak out of it. I guess at some point Shadowheart was randomized again, and now she's just this headless halfling. On the plus side, she does have more health, and it did result in a pretty funny cutscene between her and Jezzy Tops. Time to move on to Act 3. A group of free runners wake us in the middle of the night looking for an altercation. I tried to use the astral portal, but I think the randomizer changed it to an enemy. I don't know. Let's try that again.
There we go. Okay, that seems to be working now. Okay, nice. I don't know if I can keep her on screen, man. That's really gory.
Shart doesn't have the jump action for some reason, so it's up to us three to save the Emperor. I got super lucky here with the Githyanki as they had almost no health.
There we go. There you go. Okay, that's concerning. Nice. Big damage.
Once out of combat, the Emperor turns into a large Dwergar, which I'm pretty sure is just a drow.
Oh, you see the fingers? Oh, the fingers.
Whatever. I just need the Mind Flayer tadpole. Normally, I wouldn't force anyone else to take it, but since Shart can't jump, she needs to be able to fly. At least she doesn't have to worry about the cosmetic changes. I need to salvage this Shadowheart situation any way I can, since she can't cast spells. I've received tons of critical relative gear, so I switch her to a champion dual-wielding fighter. Let's see how she does in combat. Nice. I'm really excited to see what inventory the lower city merchants have. So I quickly grab the murder evidence, make a deal with Gortash, and move into the lower city. By this point, I'm having loot withdrawals. The gear we're using is primarily stuff we found in Act 1, so I'm really looking forward to what the loot gods have in store for me.
Almost nothing. This is cool. So this was supposed to be with Kethric. See, these are good, but not good enough. I really expected better from this guy, legitimately. This is awful. Man, that's really a bummer.
The loot giveth and the loot taketh away. I think maybe a few of them bugged out because even Leroican had practically nothing but scrolls. I'll just get to work on the main story and see what we find along the way. Starting with the ball plot, I let the wheel decide how I handle Saravok. No problem. Let's go say hi.
What the fuck?
Unfortunately, he's nowhere to be found, which means the amulet of Ball is nowhere to be found, which means we're literally unable to finish the story. But that just goes to show how random this run is. It even ends in a random place. All jokes aside, I went to the combat randomizer page and a few people seem to have had this issue as well. I guess that explains the giant disclaimer on the landing page. Let this be evidence that if you use the mod, you are doing so at your own risk. I can't be mad though. This run was just so much fun. The random enemies were cool and all, and the wheel was pretty great, but above anything else, I just love the little dopamine hit every time I open a barrel and there's a rare piece of equipment in it. But yeah, thanks for watching to the end of the video. It's a long-term goal and dream to one day hit 100k subs on the channel, so if you had fun, why not stick around? Huge shout out to the members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Members get access to perks like additional uploads and ad-free early access to our regular uploads. If you're interested in becoming a member, check the description for more details. See you all in the next one. Later.